Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the channel Online Classes for You. This channel has been created to provide the online classes to the students of primary, middle, secondary and higher secondary level. And I would like you to watch the complete video and give your feedback. And today's topic is basically this is the second lesson of the series. And today's topic is aspect of tenses. We would just try to find out that how many aspects of the tense are there, and then we will go to the first aspect of the past tense, that is simple past tense, or sometimes we call it past indefinite tense. So we know that there are different aspects of each tense. First of all, there are basically four aspects of each tense. The first is indefinite tense or the simple tense. Second is continuous tense or the progressive tense. Third is perfect tense, and the fourth is perfect continuous or perfect progressive tense. सो हम सुनते हैं कि अक्सर ये कहा जाता है जी कि हमारे पास 12 टेंसेस हैं. बेसिकली देर आर नो 12 टेंसेस, कोई 12 टेंसेस नहीं है. देर आर ओनली 3 टेंसेस, और फिर हर एक टेंस के 4 डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. इस तरह से हमारे पास 12 स्टाइल्स या 12 एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ द टेंस मौजूद हैं. टुडे वी हैव टू लर्न अबाउट द सिंपल पास्ट टेंस. फर्स्ट वी शुड नो दैट व्हाट इज़ अ पास्ट टेंस. हम कौन से सेंटेंसेस हैं जिसको पास्ट टेंस में इंक्लूड करते हैं. सो देयर आर सम एग्जांपल्स. आई वुड लाइक यू टू गो थ्रू दीज एग्जांपल्स, एंड वी कैन सी इन द ब्लू कलर दैट डिस्क्राइबिंग थिंग्स विथ टाइम एडवर्बियल्स. इट मीन्स कि हमें यहाँ पर टाइम पीरियड भी नज़र आएगा, मेंशन किया जाएगा द टाइम ऑफ द एक्शन. लाइक फर्स्ट एग्जांपल में जाते हैं. इट वाज वेरी कोल्ड लास्ट नाइट. नाउ वी कैन सी वी आर डिस्क्राइबिंग अ सिचुएशन और डिस्क्राइबिंग अ टाइम ऑफ द लास्ट नाइट एंड व्हाट वाज द सिचुएशन. सेकंड, शी वाज इन द हॉस्पिटल ऑन लास्ट फ्राइडे. आप देख सकते हैं फर्स्ट में भी हमने हेल्पिंग वर्ब वाज यूज़ किया, सेकंड में भी वाज, और टाइम पीरियड भी साथ साथ मेंशन कर रहे हैं, लास्ट नाइट, फ्राइडे नाइट. गो टू द नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल. दे वर नॉट एट होम दिस इवनिंग व्हेन यू केम टू सी मी. सॉरी, सी देम. दे वर नॉट एट होम दिस इवनिंग व्हेन यू केम टू सी देम. दिस इज नॉट me, this is them. The last example, the refrigerator was not switched on last night. So we see that helping verb was and were is being used, and secondly, in each sentence we see that time is mentioned. We call it time adverbial. Last night, this evening, Friday night, and last night. Okay, now there are two things that we often study in the simple past tense. First is the events in the past with specific time. Like this, in this example, the Prime Minister addressed the nation last night and asked people to stay at home. So two things are there. One is the second form of verb, time adverbial. Again, second form of the verb. Now this is an event. Address of the Prime Minister was an event, और वो कब हुआ था? लास्ट नाइट हुआ था. तो हमने इवेंट को एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम के अंदर मेंशन किया है. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल, मोर देन 2 million people were affected by the virus COVID-19 in a few months. More than 2 million people were affected. Now we see here were and the third form of the verb affected. पास्ट टेंस है, लेकिन इट इज़ द पैसिव फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब वर और थर्ड फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब आपको जहाँ भी नज़र आएगी या आपको हेल्पिंग वर्ब के साथ थर्ड फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब नज़र आ रहा है तो इट मीन्स दिस इज द पैसिव फॉर्म by the virus COVID-19 in a few months. So again time adverbial a few months. तो time भी mention है, were use कर रहे हैं और second form of the verb. Next example, yesterday. Again time is time adverbial in the beginning of the sentence. I went to the market to buy some groceries, but the shops were closed. Now see second form of verb, and again passive form were closed. So in these examples we have seen different verb forms. Okay, now we saw that went have been used, which is the second form of go. In the same way were closed, basically this were is a verb, we call it sometimes auxiliary or helping verb, and this is the form of basic verb form is be. It has 6 different forms. Be is, am, are, was, and were. Addressed is the second form of address or past form of address. Asked is a verb, which is the second form of ask. Were affected, again helping verb, and third form of the verb has been used. Were is the form of be, past form of be. So these examples tell us that what is the past tense. So we see that describing something in the past with time adverbials. As we have seen that we have been describing different situations, and time adverbials have been used. Referring towards an event performed in a definite time. सेकंड जो डेफिनेशन है हम कह सकते हैं कि हम पास्ट सिंपल पास्ट टेंस में इवेंट्स को डिस्क्राइब करते हैं या रेफ़र करते हैं, और साथ ही टाइम पीरियड भी मेंशन किया जाता है कि वो इवेंट, वो वाक़या, वो इंसिडेंट कब हुआ था. Some more examples now. See that yesterday we were in the market. So here time mentioned, time adverbials yesterday and helping verb were have been used. They were at school last month. Were in the last month. She was not at home in the morning. So was is helping verb here and showing the past tense, and in the morning is time adverbial. I was busy in my work yesterday. So again busy, was is the helping verb, and yesterday is the time adverbial. Some more examples, like yesterday I went to school to attend my English class. When the teacher entered the class, she was surprised to see that there were only 5 students present out of 20. So in this example we see that second form of verb, again time adverbial is there, and to attend, basically this is, we call it infinitive. Whenever there is to in the first form of the verb, it can be used in any tense, that is why it is called infinitive. And when the teacher entered, again second form of verb, time, was surprised, was is the helping verb and surprise is third form, so it is the passive form of past tense. To see, again this is the infinitive. There were is showing the past tense, and out of 20 is the adverb or adverbial. Yesterday I went to school to attend my English class. Again time period is mentioned there and second form of verb. The teacher entered the class. Now 3 dots show that this is incomplete sentence because the meanings are not clear. Teacher entered the class, then what happened? We have to complete it. So this part are the main clause of the sentence have second form of verb enter. She was is and surprised. Surprised is the second form of verb and it is a passive form. There were only 5 students, so were is showing the past tense. Now, what are the structure of sentences in simple past tense? We see that first of all there is subject. After subject, we can see verb. It will be in the past form or second form of the verb. Then there will be object. Then adverbials. For example, she cooked food for her family. So she cooked food for her family. For her family, adverbials. Cook is the second form and food is the object. She is subject. I went to school yesterday. I is the subject. Went is the verb. School is basically indirect object because there is 2 in between them. And yesterday is the time adverbial. The patient recovered after the surgery. The patient is subject, recovered verb. After the surgery is adverbial. There is no direct object here. Now, what are the rules of these simple past tense? So, of this simple past tense, so the first rule is use was or were for simple past tenses, simple sentences to describe in the past tense. Like there was an old man, she was a teacher, and they were students. So we see that were and was have been used to describe different persons. Second rule is always use second form of verb for affirmative or positive sentences like I went to see my friend last evening. So went is the second form of verb. Now, how to make negative sentences in simple past tense? For negative sentences, use did not plus first form of the verb. Like the sentence why I went to the, it was the sentence that I went to see my friend last evening. So when it will become negative, we will use did not and first form of the verb. I did not go to see my friend last evening. So we have to remember whenever there is did or did not, we will use the first form of the verb. Interrogative sentences, you see that it has a specific structure. First of all, we will use did, then subject, verb, then object. At the end of each interrogative sentence, there would be a question mark. Like did I go to see my friend last evening? So did and go first form of the verb, and you can see a question mark. Next is a negative interrogative sentence. It has also a different structure. Did, subject, and after subject we place not, then verb, then subject, and then a question mark. Like did I not go to see my friend last evening? So there is a question mark also. Review of the lesson, that what we have learned today. First of all, we learned that the first thing that we learned that there are 4 aspects which is not mentioned here. We learn aspects of tenses, that there are 4 aspects of each tense. Secondly, we learned that the past tense in English is used to talk about the past events with definite time. Events with definite time. Secondly, to describe something in past with time adverbials. Describe something in the past with time adverbials. These 2 things we have learned about the simple past tense, and at the end we learned the structure and the rules of simple past tense. Now I have prepared some home assignment for you. You have to practice these things, these questions. First of all, you have to write 5 sentences using helping verb was and were. 5 sentences for was and 5 for were. Then you have to change the sentences into negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative. The following sentences. First is today she cooked rice for her family. You have to make the negative interrogative and negative interrogative of this sentence. And the second one, the teacher called it a day at 2 p.m. because we were tired. So here is an phrase used, verb phrase had been used, call it a day. So call it a day mean it was the closing time, the time was over, and the teacher asked us to stop the work. Third is our principal called a parent-teacher meeting and handed over my results to my elder brother. So here called mean to requested the parents to come for the teaching. My parents made a decision last week to buy a new house. So made a decision. They have decided that now they should buy a new house. He made way for me by pushing his chair back. So made way means to make way or to give way to the other people. Next lesson will be past continuous tense, so don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next lesson. If you have some queries or questions, you can your queries and suggestions or questions are welcome. Just send me an email on akiltefler@gmail.com. Thank you very much.